Is your hero movement confusing? You accidentally attack the creep instead of enemy heroes? Or you are having a bad time with your screen moving like bizarre? So you adjusted your settings but still defeat? Well, in today's video, we'll fix it and make your win rates skyrocket with the best settings pro players use. Let's start by changing the Lord and Minion skins because honestly, they look really cool, right? First, go to any mode and click the button on the upper right. This button allows you to select a map theme. Just click it and you can choose any map that is currently available.
The silhouette's burning, embers rising high, like a chemical fire. The flame won't die. Intertwine, darling.
Now that we're done with the map, let's move on to the in-game settings. We'll start with the basic settings. There are a lot of options here, and you might feel confused, but don't worry. Just watch this video without skipping. Basic settings. Outline. This isn't really important. The outline setting will just add or remove an outline around your hero. You can choose to turn it on or off. It doesn't really matter. Next, camera height. This setting is really important because it changes your camera view, making it bigger or smaller. I highly recommend always turning this on since it significantly affects your gameplay. If you turn it off, your screen view will be very limited, and that's a huge disadvantage. Next, screen shake. This setting makes your screen shake when using certain skills, especially powerful ultimates that deal area damage. You can turn it off if you find it distracting. Next, HD mode. This setting improves the game's visual quality. I recommend keeping it on, but if your device isn't strong enough, turning it off is a must to reduce lag. Next, merge text option. This setting combines all your damage numbers into one total number. You can see here, my damage is being calculated over time. Turning this on is slightly beneficial if you like to track your total damage. Next, high frame rate and graphics. These settings control the smoothness and quality of your game. It depends on your device's power. If your game lags, set frame rate to at least medium, because at low, you'll experience even more lag. For graphics, set it to smooth for better performance. If your device is powerful, set both settings to the maximum your device can handle. If you experience lag, lower them slightly. Next, shadow option. This setting doesn't really matter much. It only affects visual elements like character shadows. Turning it on makes the game look more realistic, but it won't impact your performance. Next, creep HP. This is very important, especially if you play jungler. It allows you to see the HP of the Lord or Turtle, helping you calculate the best time to secure objectives. Next, damage text. This setting is also important because it lets you see how much damage you're dealing to enemies. I recommend turning this on. Finally, colorblind filter. This changes the color of your HP bar to yellow, making it easier to spot your HP during chaotic fights. This is useful when many heroes are clustered together. Control settings. Now let's move on to control settings. Let's get started. The first setting is targeting method. This is an essential setting. Let me explain the three options. 1. Free targeting. The worst option. It doesn't allow you to target enemies properly. 2. Select targeting. The best option. You can choose which enemy to attack, whether it's a turret, minion, or hero. This is the setting I always use. 3. Lock-on targeting. Similar to select targeting, but once you click on a target, your attacks will remain locked onto it. Next, targeting priority. There are 3 options. 1. Lowest HP percent. Targets the enemy with the lowest HP percentage. Not recommended. You might end up targeting a tank instead of a squishy hero. 2. Lowest HP. Targets the enemy with the absolute lowest HP. This is the best setting as it helps you focus on weak enemies first. 3. Closest enemy. Attacks the nearest enemy. Not recommended, it's unreliable in fights. Next, Hero Lock Mode. This setting allows you to prioritize specific heroes during fights. Every serious player should turn this on. Next, Accurate Indicator. This setting helps with aiming skills. When turned on, it will auto-aim at enemies when you hold the skill button. Next, Aim Panning. This is useless and can be annoying, especially when using long-range heroes like Fanny. Turn this off. Next, Moving Pursuit. This setting automatically chases enemies outside your attack range. This is optional, but I personally turn it off, especially when playing heroes like Wanwan or Irithel. Next, Joystick Dead Zone. This setting makes your hero stop moving when the joystick returns to the center. I turn this off as it's unnecessary. Next, Active Creep Filter. This is an important setting. It prioritizes enemies in this order. 1. Enemy heroes. 2. Active creeps. 3. Minions. 4. Inactive creeps.
Barely scratching the surface. This obsession of mine is fueling the furnace.
Next, Basic Attack Smart Targeting. There are 2 options. Locked targeting keeps attacking the same target. Manual targeting requires repeated manual attacks. I recommend turning this on. I personally prefer manual targeting since I need to switch targets sometimes. Next, Auto Upgrade Skills. Turn this off. It automatically upgrades skills when leveling up, which isn't ideal in most situations. Next, Auto Buy Items. Turn this off. Since item builds depend on your enemies, you should buy items manually. Next, HP Shift. This is useful as it shows enemy HP at the top of your screen. Turn this on.
I'm up all night with intertwined. Darling, you
Next, HP Lock Setting. This keeps the enemy's HP visible even from a distance. Great for long-range heroes like Layla. Next one is Skill Sensitivity. You know what sensitivity is. Set it as you like, guys. It's different for each player. This will make your aim faster or slower when you roll the skill button. Next, we have Cast Canceling Skill, guys. This one is optional too. It will change the way to cancel a skill usage. The first one is the default setting, where you need to move your finger to the circle if you want to cancel. The other one requires you to swipe a certain distance, which I don't recommend. Finally, we arrive at the last setting on controls, camera sensitivity. This is used when you scroll through your map or screen. Now we're in the next section, interface setting. This setting doesn't make significant changes to your gameplay, but still needs your attention. We will talk about the custom UI and skill layout soon. Let's start with the first one, font size. This doesn't really matter, so I'll skip it. Let's move to Battlefield UI opacity. This one can give you a little advantage if you set the opacity to 0. Why? Look at this. You can still see your match even when you open the settings, shop, or scoreboard. There is also simplified hero model, but this doesn't affect your battlefield, so let's skip it. Next, we have counterplay build. This feature will recommend the best build to counter an enemy hero. Usually, it will be right there. Now let's move to UI customization. You can change the UI size, transparency, and edge offset. You can also move them. First, you should increase your map size and decrease its transparency so you have higher map awareness. For the score or kill notification, it doesn't really matter, so you can set it as you like. For battle spells, I suggest making them bigger so you won't miss them, especially when using Retribution. Otherwise, you'll get bullied by your teammates. For items like Wind of Nature or Winter Truncheon, you can also make them bigger. For skills, you should enlarge the most important ones. For Fanny, for example, you can increase the size of her second skill. Here, you also have the option to apply these settings to specific heroes. I usually select All. Next is sound settings. The setting I recommend is like this: background music. You can change it here. Hero interaction voiceover, not really important. After that, we have text chat. If you turn this off, you will not be able to chat in matches or receive messages from enemies. It's optional to turn this on or off. The other settings here don't really matter and won't impact gameplay. Next, we have network settings. I think you should turn them all on because they will improve your gameplay, especially speed mode and network boost. Finally, the last tip to increase your gameplay: buy a good phone that can handle playing MLBB smoothly. If your phone is laggy, it will decrease your gameplay quality. I'm Mark, and thank you for watching.